Hello and welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. Welcome back here to Germany and welcome to the Fiat 500e. One of my goals of coming over here to Europe for the month of September is to experience electric cars that don't come to the US. And well, here's another one that we'll be testing. Today we're gonna jump in and take it for our first drive. I genuinely haven't even driven it here. We're gonna see what it's like out on the road, go through the specs, and just, see, should we have gotten this car in the US or is it better that it stayed over here in Europe? And here she is then, the 500e. Pretty interesting. This one's painted in ocean green. Not sure I'm digging the wheels, but I know there's different specs. This particular one is a Icon specification, and the base price seems to be just under 30,000 euros. This one, equipped the way it is with all of these options here, is 34,000 euros or so. So it has metallic paint, it has co-driver package, it has style package, winter package, Magic Eye package. These are all interesting things. I gotta say, the size is perfect for Europe, but it actually has a pretty big trunk. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. Very deep. You can really put tall objects in. The seats seem like they fold down. Inside, not bad at all. This would be much more pleasant, I think, as a convertible version, or if you could have a large sunroof. This is just a car that I think really leads to a perfect open air experience. Let's take a look at the charging port here. Underneath here, yep, so we have Type 2 on the top and then CCS on the bottom. That's perfect. Looks like it even gives you a little gauge. We'll look into all this when we do the charging tests, of course, but this car does have a 42 kilowatt hour battery pack. I'm not sure if that's usable or gross capacity. All things we're going to have to test. It does have a power output though of 87 kilowatts, which is 27 kilowatts more than my electric smart car. So I'm expecting some serious rapid accelerations here. Insert sarcasm, of course. But it looks good. The new generation of 500e is so much more premium, so much more pleasant styling wise than the previous gen, which I was never a huge fan of. I think they make great used EVs in the US because they're so cheap. This particular version's not available in the United States. I don't know if Fiat, or I should say Stellantis, now plans to bring this to the US, but I think we'll have to see. Would this car work there? I'm not sure. It does have a pretty big battery pack. 42 kilowatt hour for a city EV is quite large. So let's get it out on the road, and I'm genuinely going to drive it for the first time right now. You guys are always complaining about how dirty my car is in videos, and a company called EV Wash has reached out to solve this problem. This is a reusable, sustainable washing system that's branded specifically towards EVs. Take a look at this. It comes in this really nice carrying case. I can open it up. I have all of the towels I need, all of the different equipment I need, for example, glass cleaner. And when this really nice bottle runs out, you can purchase a refillable, 100% biodegradable refill pack, fill up your bottle, and that way it's much more sustainable than normal car cleaning products. EV Wash, use the code OUTOFSPEC30 for 30% off your order. Link is in the description. Well, let's head out for the first time. So I have a row of buttons across here to change gear, which is kind of interesting. Good backup camera. Parking brake automatically comes off when we hit the accelerator pedal. Into drive. I have different E modes. I guess that means electric driving modes, but it doesn't tell me how to change. Oh, you have to hold it. Normal, range, and then Sherpa. Oh, Sherpa must be like all the range because it just shut climate control off. Range mode must be that, and normal, whoa, turns off regen. So there's seems to be no regen control in normal. I've seen no button to turn regen on. So off we go then. We're gonna drive around the countryside for a little bit for the first time in the 500e, and not sure I like normal without regen. There's range mode with one pedal drive. And there's a Volkswagen ID3 ride-sharing car of some kind. Oh, this is so cool. So this car to me has a lot of character. It's pleasant. I am usually a huge fan of green cars, but this is the wrong green. Doesn't matter, it doesn't affect the car. And also I would have preferred, some sort of convertible version, I think, or with a glass roof, I think would have really helped. Oh, look at this giant Mercedes truck. That thing is just so cool. And tractors driving down the road. We're definitely in the countryside here. Yeah, this is neat. It's got a personality, really big personality. This is cool and fast. Whoa, pretty quick. Definitely front wheel drive. These people are laughing at me because I just floored it. The keys went flying somewhere. There's a wireless phone charger up here, so I guess that means it's charging. Nice. There's wireless CarPlay. It's got Uconnect, which is interesting. It's a really good implementation of Uconnect as well. It lets you set so many settings. I went through and paired my phone and hooked everything up, and it's like, do you want auto hold? Do you want normal cruise? Do you want adaptive cruise? It has lane co-driver, that's what it says. So you have to turn on cruise control, and then you can set the speed, and it was slowing down, but not quick enough for this guy, so there we go. Let's let him make his turn, and then we will accelerate back up to normal speeds. So far though, we're in this little German village. I'm not sure what it's called, but just on the southeast side of Munich, and it's really cool here. Really nice to see all the cars, the people, the culture. I absolutely love it. We are at 70% state of charge. Again, 44 kilowatt hour battery packs, quite large, so I assume this thing's gonna have, yeah, maybe close to 200 miles usable, although it's saying only 180 kilometers left at 70. I did go through and reset all the trip computers because I reset all cars when I get them dropped off, and this one was showing 4.6 miles per kilowatt hour for the last 3,800 miles, which is so efficient for sure. This one has 13,500 kilometers on it, so this is not a fresh car at all. This is actually the highest mileage media vehicle we've received in Germany so far, but that's okay. That's not going to hurt anything. And left turn here. Steering, lovely. The regen in range mode. Let's try this. No one's behind us. Does it bring you to a stop? Yes, and holds, auto hold. And then you can accelerate away. How nice is this? So this is really quite something special. I just have to wait. Timon's following behind. So here we go. Now he knows where we're going because I got the nav running on wireless CarPlay. So range mode seems to be like the mode to drive it in. Is it responsive though? Let's see. Yes, there is a kick down switch at the end of the pedal. Let's try normal mode really quick. Okay, so a brake pedal is controlling regen for sure. There's got to be a setting to turn regen on. I would hope, I think. One can dream, right? It's just coasting, zero regen at all. Who would want zero regen in an EV? That's the best part. So they're saying range mode gives you regen, when in fact it's actually better for range if you coast. That doesn't make any sense. Full throttle. Whoa. On these little German roads, this thing moves pretty good. It is amazing how fast cars feel here because everything's so close together, and you know, you really don't get a chance to open up things that much. So when you do, like when you get out of town, like here, 50 to 80, foot down. Boom. Nice. Going by cornfields. What else do we have here? We have a lot of climate control buttons. Climate control feels good. There's auto headlights. There's lane departure as well as lane centering. Excuse me. What am I trying to say here? Cows. You can't drive past a flock of cows or whatever they're called without saying cows. That's illegal in my world, at least. Center armrest storage. There's USB-A port. That's odd. I thought it would be USB-C. Anyway, we'll get it up to about 80 kilometers an hour. Let's cruise for a little bit. Let me get used to this thing, and I'll check in with you again, maybe with some more updates. But so far, I'd say the steering feels really light in normal mode. The car, yeah, like almost way too over-assisted. The car feels noisy, actually. Quite a lot of wind noise and stuff going on in the back, and we're only doing 80 kilometers an hour. The braking performance, pretty good, and it blinks the flashers when you get on brakes, so that's nice. And good pedal feel as well. Really like that pedal calibration. It's really hard to feel the blend point in the brake pedal. All these Euro EVs have great brake pedal calibration, but then when we drive American stuff, they drive like crap. Wow. Although I will say, ID3 and ID4 do not have amazing brake pedal calibration, so maybe it shouldn't be a blanket statement. Anyway, let's keep driving here for a little bit in the 500e. What a pleasant machine. Everything feels very plasticky, but it's pleasant, so I think you can get away with it. And it's not crazy expensive. Like the Honda E was far worse on paper and cost about 6,000 euros more than this car. And so right off the bat, you would just go for this over a Honda E if you're a practical buyer. If you buy cars like me on emotion, then maybe you'd go Honda E. Check back in with you in a little bit. Time for an acceleration test. So we're at a stop, normal mode, foot on the left, flooring it, doesn't let you brake boost. Good acceleration off the line. Pulls really hard to 60 and 100. So yeah, the off the line, the city acceleration's great, but then it seems to die down up top. But I'd gotta say that is more than enough. Let's just see. Keeps pulling pretty hard. We'll do an Autobahn top speed video, of course, because we're here, we may as well. So stay tuned for that. Let's set the cruise control at 100. Set is this one. On, set. Oh, it gives you great displays with little bubbles. 100. Steering is on. And now it's actively steering for us. Yeah, very noisy in here. It just doesn't feel like it's built with that much premiumness. All right, so it says place hands on wheel. Maybe it's a capacitive wheel because I barely put any torque in it. Can it do corners? You know, level 2 driver assistance systems like these right here are designed to aid you, not to take over the driving scenario. So what I'm doing here is purely for testing, and I'm paying 100% attention. So it is a capacitive wheel for sure. I didn't put any torque into it, and it said, yep, you're touching the wheel. So that's interesting and not expected. Let's see what happens when I don't touch the steering wheel, and we'll just take a look at Stuart's ramp down. How is it going to try and get my attention? So we have initial yellow, place hands on steering wheel. The gauge cluster has a yellow glow around it right now. It's now beeping at me. It's red. It's a very faint beep though. Place hands on steering wheel, understood. Now it's triple beeping. It's beeping a lot. And there's a truck pulling out in front of us. He just slammed on the brakes. Well, we'll have to test that again. I'll let you know how that does. But it basically lets you go for a really long time, we've learned, without putting your hands on the system. And we would have had to slow down there anyway. So I guess that's okay, but I really wish it would do something like grab the seatbelt a little bit sooner. I still don't know exactly what it does. We'll see anyway. Doesn't matter. We have a whole bunch of buttons everywhere that don't really do anything, but in terms of a driver, it's comfortable. The seats are just basically flat. There's a little lip on the end. It's a pleasant car to drive around in. I love the armrest to steering wheel ratio is perfect. You can see I really like this. I like the steering wheel. Normally I'm not a crazy fan of 2-spoke wheels, but this works well. It's got a little bit of a, not a flat bottom, but it comes a little bit more flat. Let's test the handling. We're going to take the second exit. So flying in, quick steering ratio, understeer, weight transfer. I'm full throttle. It's just traction control the whole way. So yes, it doesn't seem like it's a great performer. You know, understeer, and then the car freaked out. There is a traction control off button though, so perhaps we should take this up into the mountains and we can always try that later on. But for now, I think I leave you with this, a first impression of the 500e. It's pleasant. There seems to be good tech in here. The infotainment's awesome. Really is a truly snappy, great, nice interface. I like the buttons. The touch points though, like the steering wheel feels great, but everything else feels like garbage. I mean, just really cheap materials everywhere, but this is what you expect from an inexpensive city car, more or less. Yeah, let's turn traction control off and ESC disabled. Oh, it just spins the tires. We're spinning the inside tire right there. So this is quite interesting, quite cool. I'm excited to run this through all of our tests, specifically the range and charging. Those are two of my favorite tests to do on every new EV we see. And with that, I leave you. See you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Thanks to EV Wash for supporting us and sponsoring today's video. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.